Hello, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be doing a Q&A while I design an Elvish fantasy cloak. I've been wanting to do both of these things for quite some time, so I thought I would combine them into one video. I'll be designing an Elvish cloak while I answer some questions that my followers asked me on Instagram. In a separate video in the future, I'm going to be actually making this cloak, but today I'm just going to be doing the designing. I have some painting supplies and such to do the designing, and I have 2 angles so you know it's legit. So let's just get right into this. I'm going to start by doing sort of just a rough sketch of a mannequin that I can put the cloak onto. While we're doing that, our first question is, what was your style pre-vintage clothing? I do have a video on this, but I didn't really go very much into how I dressed before the way I dress now. Of course, that does depend on how far before, but right before I really started going super hardcore into vintage fashion, I was still into kind of vintage fashion, but the 80s and the sort of modernized 80s look I was really into. I honestly did quite trendy styles, and there are still things that I really like about that style. Before that, I kind of didn't really have a very specific style. I kind of just wore whatever. You know what? I've been trying to draw hands for a hot second here, but it's really just not working, so I'm just gonna have the mannequin not have hands. You know what? I'm just gonna not even have arms, because it doesn't really matter. The next question is, what is my favorite article of clothing? This is a very difficult question because I have many pieces of clothing that I really, really love. I do really, really love this kind of plumish colored long sleeve shirt. It's kind of a sweater, but it has kind of a low neckline. I'm not sure exactly what you would call it, but here's a picture of it. I love that sweater, so I guess that would probably be my favorite. I do also really like the shirt that I'm wearing right now under my apron. But yeah, answering the favorite article of clothing question is very difficult because that changes depending on the style that I'm feeling on a particular day. I am now drawing the actual cloak onto the mannequin, and I do really want this cloak to be really quite full. I actually already have the fabric for this cloak purchased. Of course, it will have a hood. I can't really decide if I want to make this cloak paneled or gathered or both. I'm gonna go with gathered. I'm gonna have it tie closed, but I am going to paint it now and then add some more details with the paint. So it turns out I'm actually erasing most of the mannequin anyways, so I didn't really need to draw it, but whatever. The next question is, what pets do you have? I have had many, many pets in my lifetime, but currently I just have a dog. She is a beautiful black rescue doggo. You've probably seen her make a few appearances in my previous videos. Her name is Mabel, and she is the sweetest creature ever. She's going to have a surgery soon on her knee. She's actually had the surgery done previously on her other leg, but now she's having the same issues with the other leg. So this cloak is going to be navy blue. I'm considering possibly dyeing it to be a little bit bluer than it is, but this cloak is inspired by the night sky, so I want it to be the appropriate color for that. Right now I'm using acrylic paints, but I'm kind of gonna use them in a sort of watercolor-like way. Anywho, I'm going to start filling the cloak in with this color. Next question is, pancakes or waffles? V important, which, yes, I agree, it is a very important question. I am a firm believer that waffles are better than pancakes because the way they hold the syrup is just so delicious. If you disagree, then I guess that's fine, but you're wrong. The next question is, who's your favorite Lord of the Rings character? That's basically an impossible question because there's so many incredible characters in Lord of the Rings. I think I'd probably say Gandalf. Gandalf is pretty awesome. Of course, when it comes to the movies versus the books, there is a difference. So as far as the movies, I really love Gandalf and Pippin. Pippin is quite different in the movies than he is in the books. He's awesome in them both, but he's definitely different. So in the movies, I do really like Pippin. In the books, Gandalf. Next question is, which Lord of the Rings character are you most like? That is a rather subjective question, but my dad says Elrond, which I kind of agree. Elrond does happen to be the same Myers-Briggs personality type as me. So is Gandalf, actually. But yeah, I guess I'll go with Elrond. You can let me know in the comments which Lord of the Rings character do you think that I most like, because that is not necessarily a question that I can answer. The next question is, what is your favorite childhood memory? One of my favorites would probably be, I went to Disneyland. I've been a couple times. It's like one of the vacations that my family does because we never go anywhere. But when we do, it's Disneyland. It's been a couple years now, but the last time we went, it was just me and my dad in the park, and it was getting quite late, and there was a parade happening, like one of the Disney parades happening sort of along all the streets of Disneyland. Me and my dad are quite introverted, so we were like, heck no, we're not gonna sit around and watch all of this craziness and big crowds happening. So we thought, hey, this is the perfect time to go into Pixie Hollow, the little fairy section of Disneyland. And when we got there, there was absolutely nobody there, and there was just really beautiful Pixie Hollow music playing, and it was all dark with little lights everywhere, and it was just us, and it was just a very lovely moment. And then we went to one of the little restaurants in Tomorrowland, and we ate some hamburgers and watched the fireworks from afar. And yeah, that was the last night that I was in Disneyland. I believe I was 12. Please answer all of these questions for yourself in the comments. I'd love to hear your own answers. What are your favorite childhood memories and such? I'm currently shading the cloak and letting there be lots of folds in the fabric to try and help it look realistic. And the last question I have is, what was my childhood dream job? When I was very little, I was pretty sure that I wanted to be a veterinarian, as many children do. But then from age 10 to 12 probably, I was 100% sure that I wanted to be a ballet teacher. I danced ballet for a very long time. I got to quite a high level, and I was very sure that I wanted to be a ballet teacher. Of course, things change. I no longer dance ballet at all. However, now my goal is to be a historian, and as my old history teacher would say, we all are historians. We are writing the history right now. If you're learning about history and teaching history, then you are a historian. So in a way, I already am doing my dream job, basically. This YouTube channel is a part of that. I would also really like my YouTube channel to get somewhere. At the making of this video, I have around 320 something subscribers, which, I mean, if I think about it, 320 something people is like, it's a pretty decent crowd, but for YouTube standards, that is not very many followers. Of course, someone's car alarm is going off right now. Okay, I am now painting on the ties. The fabric that I bought for this cloak is 100% linen, and I'm very excited about it. Now I'm just trying to make it look a little bit more gathered by adding some darker shadows right at the top where the cape joins the hood. Now let's see, what other sort of questions would help you get to know me, because I am out of Instagram questions. Well, I am 16 years old. I'm a Scorpio, and I really don't like wearing red and black, which is kind of the Scorpio stereotype. I have read Harry Potter like a zillion times. I've read the first book 8 times. the second book 5 times, the fourth book probably also 5 times, and then the rest probably at least 3. Oh, I am also autistic. And no, I'm not trying to like make a joke or anything. I am legitimately autistic. I am what is called high functioning, so you basically can't tell at all that I'm autistic. And yeah, there are a lot of stereotypes about autistic people that are most certainly not true. A lot of people assume that autistic means stupid, which is definitely not the case. A lot of specialists suspect that Albert Einstein was autistic, and I believe Stephen Hawking was also autistic. So yeah, there's a little something about me. Okay, I have been layering shadows for a very long time now, but I think we are good. I am going to give the mannequin that the cloak is on a little bit of a skin tone. I'm gonna try and make it kind of look like mine. I am, however, not going to give it a face because faces are actually impossible. Many people would probably ask, why do I need a cloak? Like, when am I gonna wear it? First of all, you can wear a cloak whenever you damn well please, so you don't need to have a specific occasion. However, one of the times that I will most often wear it is on my night walks. I like to go for little walks quite late at night, especially on starry nights. Go and see the stars and the moon, and I listen to sort of elvish music. Once again, love the elves in Lord of the Rings. Listen to Even Star by Howard Shore from Lord of the Rings, and I listen to Lux Armaquae, if that's how you pronounce it, by Eric Whitaker. And I do wear a cloak while I go for these lovely little walks. I just love to appreciate nature and enjoy the beautiful light of the stars and the moon. So that is why this cloak is inspired by the night sky, because that is the time that I'll be wearing it. And now I'm going to do the finishing touches to make this actually be a night sky sort of cloak, which will really bring it to life. So I'm going to do some stars on the hem and sort of coming up the front opening. I have a super fine little brush here and some white paint. And I'm just going to dot this on there. On the actual cloak, I'm going to be embroidering these on, which, yes, is going to take 5 million years, but it is what it is. I struggle for a beautiful cloak. I just added some stars right up close to the necktie. I'm just going to fill that little gap at the opening of the cloak. I'm going to fill that with black. So there we go. Here is the finished cloak. This was a lot of fun. I had fun answering the questions, so thank you for those of you who submitted them. And I'm very excited to actually make this cloak in a future video. So that would be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Combine them into one video. Nope. Combine them into one video. Wow.